Tonight's call is going to be probably pretty quick and straightforward. And what I want to talk about tonight is like kind of the 3 minute version of Texit Coin. I don't know if I can get there completely in 3 minutes. I usually have quite a bit to say about it. But my friend asked me to make the official definitive 3 minute video introducing Texit Coin, telling my story my way. And so I've been working on a script. You think that I'd know exactly what to say and I'd have it down perfect, but I got to get it right. And I got to get it right because what we're coming up on now is like the growth stage, the exciting part. If you're a farmer and you're familiar with, the sleep, creep, leap idea, that works perfectly for us, especially as we start 2026. In 2024, January 26, I mined the first block of Texacoin in my spare bedroom on the farm in McKinney, Texas. I bet that farm on Texit Coin, and I've been very happy thus far with that investment. But it's slow the first year. It takes time for roots to start to grow out. You can't even see them. You can't see the progress. And that's what 2024 really felt like for us. 2024 was a good year. We made progress, but it wasn't until November 2024, and I'll remember the day for the rest of my life. Took a picture of myself as I was there in Thailand, getting some surgery done for myself, getting some life-saving surgery done for my daughter. When we hit profitability, and that was November 2024. And profitability for us was really great because it gave us an opportunity to start 2025 with a little bit of cash flow. And that cash, of course, became our budget to do the things that we talked about all this time, but never really had the money to be able to actually implement. We started being able to do marketing and promotion like never before. We had money for liquidity to start ramping up more and more exchanges. At the end of 2024, we went live on Bitmart, which was really a huge step forward for us and our DEX trade market that we had started with. So 2025 was all about the creep. It was all about just slowly getting this thing to come out of obscurity, introduce ourselves to the world, start to take some trips, start to make some friends. And you saw a lot of that a moment ago on the little welcome video that we put together, which kind of brings tears to my eyes. When I started this, I told people we're doing it for three reasons. We're doing it to make money. We can't exist without a profit. And the more money we have, the better we can take care of ourselves and our families and our friends and our communities. We're doing it to have a great time. Life's tough. There's a lot of beauty and abundance in the world. We want to find it. We want to enjoy it. And we're here to make friends as well, because living in an isolated world is very cold. It's very lonely. And so we've done all of that now over these last 2 years. And so I think that 2026 is the year that we really leap. People have asked me a lot, hey man, what's with the path to 16? What's with the price? What's with February 2026? Are we still there? And I go, look, we all understand at this point that our projected acceleration down this path is all about our continued growth. And so we don't get there without doing the work and without making the investment of time and effort to build out our community, to build out our cash flow, to build out our marketing budget, our liquidity reserves. And so all these things really go hand in hand. But when we leap, when it happens, when the lid pops off of this thing, and it can happen at any moment for any reason, we know right now that this story of ours has been talked about and shared all over the world. It takes one time getting lucky for that lid to pop and that leap to happen and the price to go and never come back. At least that's the hope. We do the work so that we can get lucky. It's like my fortune cookie said all those years ago. Luck is what happens when hard work meets opportunity. And I can assure you that nobody works harder than I do. And I've got a lot of great people on our team now that work just as hard as I do for our mutual success. And so 2026 is the year of the leap. We blast off this year. I can feel it. But I see it. I work it every day. I eat and breathe and sleep Texit Coin. It's my passion. It's the manifestation of my years of work and effort in the realm of honest money. And so let me get into my little official pitch here. I'm gonna look down at my screen from time to time, and that way I can make sure I get it right from my script. And possibly this video could get saved in all of my hoodie beauty and shared with the world. Um, but I had a fire lit in my heart back in 2007 by Texas Congressman Ron Paul. And we've been able to become friends over the years, and it's a great relationship. Think the world of him. It was very unique to find somebody in government that actually adhered to the principles that were established in our nation's constitution. That was a rare thing. And of course, like so many other people, I saw that, I admired it, and I followed it. But he lit up a fire in my heart for honest money. I went down the rabbit hole. I did as much research as I could in 2007, trying to figure out what was wrong in the world. I watched every documentary from one side of the political spectrum to the other, from Who Killed the Electric Car and Inconvenient Truth to, the America Freedom Fascism, all of it. I tried to figure out what was wrong. And at the bottom of every one of those rabbit holes, it was always the same thing. It was always about money. Cui bono, who benefits? So I tried to figure out a little bit about money. And that's when I learned that the Federal Reserve isn't quite as federal as they'd lead us to believe, and that back in 1913, a group of the world's, or a little bit before that, a group of the world's most powerful men got together in secret and crafted up this thing called the Federal Reserve Act, which became law in 1913. And so the following year, after I learned about Ron Paul and the importance of honest money, I started the American Open Currency Standard. And I began helping small towns all across the country get back to barter with gold and silver and copper coins. And as the leading expert on alternative and complementary currencies, I really admire the work that I did. I'm very proud of it. It was successful. I was able to raise a family, travel the country, and meet so many great people. I really like what I did, but I also reflect on how I now realize that I was really going in the wrong direction. From my little horse and buggy with the gold and silver blinders on, believing that money had to be physical and tangible to be valuable, I really hoped to establish this old-fashioned monetary system to save the world. But now it's extremely clear to me that unless the lights go out, the future is going to be digital. And that took me really a long time to understand and to make peace with. And as hard as it may be to believe, things get better over time in an upward spiraling motion. Think about it, right? Would you rather be the richest person in the world 100 years ago? Or would you rather be alive today with all of the modern amenities and conveniences that we have? The whole world is accessible to you right in the palm of your hand for most things. You hungry, you want to eat, tap, 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 and next thing you know, 30 minutes later, food is at your door. We live today in the digital reality, and most things improve over time. They get better. Some days it doesn't always feel like that, but if you think about it, as far as our health and our wellness and the abundance that we have, things have gotten way better over the time. The same thing, though, cannot be said for our money. In fact, the US dollar has lost about 99% of its purchasing power since it came out back in 1913. Today, we have no idea how many dollars there are, how many they make every day, who gets them, or how they get from the Federal Reserve to normal people like you and me. Well, today we have better money. We have options. While I was bartering community currencies from my little horse and buggy, I completely missed out on the Bitcoin freight train that went flying on by, and I hardly even noticed it when it happened. I spent the better part of a dozen years racking my brain and trying to figure out what I missed. You see, I'm stamping coins for a living. I even made the original Bitcoin coin, that coin that's got the B in the middle of it, back when Bitcoin was just barely $5 a coin. You probably have a great story too about how you could have gotten in on crypto at an earlier, less expensive time. I figured out what I missed. It took me a very long time, but I have always thought of good money, honest money, as having three really important particular traits. I've always believed honest money, like gold and silver, were a good medium of exchange, a good unit of account, and a good store of value. And anything that was going to be respected as good, honest money was going to have those three properties. And crypto really nailed it on two of three of those properties. Think about it. You can send crypto from here to the other side of the world and back. It only takes seconds. It costs almost nothing. And you can do that without having to go through a bank or through a government or something like UPS or FedEx to get it there. That's an amazing medium of exchange. Crypto, I would have you believe, is a perfect medium of exchange. You can take Bitcoin and you can shatter it into 1,000 little tiny pieces almost instantly, almost for free. When I'm minting those coins, if I wanted to take a big 1,000 ounce bar of silver, one of those big COMEX bars of silver, which apparently is in some trouble these days, if I took that big 1,000 ounce bar of silver and I wanted to shatter it down into 1,000,000 1 ounce rounds, it's a day's work. If I tried to put one of those coins down on the table in front of you, could you look at one of those silver coins and definitively tell me that the coin is real, that it's not fake silver or fake gold? If I went to buy a Lambo right now and I tried to pay the dealership with fake crypto, it would never get there. They'd never receive it. It's impossible to counterfeit cryptocurrency. It is a perfect unit of account. But as a store of value, that's the place where I got stuck for a very long time. And when you're dealing with gold and silver, when you're thinking about the money and value spectrum, gold and silver are on one side and crypto and digital currencies are all the way on the other. You can hold your gold, you can put it in your safe and lock it up. And I thought for a very long time that anything that was valuable was also going to be tangible. It has to hold its value over an extremely long period of time. And we know how well gold and silver have done. If you have an ounce of gold, it's worth just as much today as it was thousands of years ago. You know the old story. If you had an ounce of gold back in ancient Rome, it would buy you a nice toga, a belt, and a pair of sandals. And that same ounce of gold today, thousands of years later, buys you a very nice suit, a pair of shoes, and a belt. No problem. In fact, what's it at today? 4,300 bucks or so? Probably buy you a couple of belts and a couple pairs of shoes and a couple of very nice suits today. But that's the way it works. Technology over time makes things easier to produce and less expensive. But when the value of our money is going down, it's hard to see it that way. But if I try to think about cryptocurrency as a store of value, that's where I really got lost. It took me a very long time to understand what I was missing. You see, store of value doesn't mean physical. It doesn't mean tangible. It doesn't mean intrinsically valuable. What store of value means is that I can take it and I can spend it later for something that's valuable. By itself, gold and silver aren't particularly valuable. I can't eat a gold coin. I can't stick an ounce of silver in my gas tank for fuel. If I want to spend my gold and silver, which are clearly valuable, everyone accepts that, I'd have to go down first to a pawn shop or a coin shop and I'd have to monetize it. I'd have to sell it. I'd have to turn it back into currency so that I could trade that for groceries or for gasoline. Well, I was there on my horse and buggy with the blinders on, the gold and silver blinders, and that crypto freight train went flying by. I completely missed that today you can now spend cryptocurrency, alternative currency, at more than 54 million merchants all over the globe. How? They were able to link their technology in with Visa, MasterCard. And now you can get a crypto-backed debit card to tap to pay anywhere Visa or MasterCard is accepted. I missed it. I looked at crypto as being extremely volatile and I confused volatility for value. But what I really need to understand, and it took me a long time to understand this, is that store of value means that it's able to be exchanged for something that's valuable. Gold and silver are valuable, and when I can spend my crypto to get gas and groceries, it also becomes valuable. Now, we've had about 17, 18 years to see that crypto started at this, non-existent price and is now all the way up as a multi-trillion dollar industry. Will it stand the test of time over thousands of years? Today, we don't know. We can't know. But if there's anything that I'd like you to believe, I'd like you to believe that there's a financial technology at the foundation of cryptocurrency that's extremely important. And if you believe that the future is digital, then I would like to also have you believe that the future of money is digital as well. In fact, cryptocurrency is likely to be the type of money that we use as we go into this digital future. I figured it out. The writing was on the wall. I said it's going to be really tough for me to get people to go back to using these gold and silver and copper coins. It's fun, it's commemorative, and it's nostalgic. But as far as being able to save the world from the horse and buggy, it's just not going to work. I sold my factory and I went all in on crypto. I looked at the landscape of cryptos out there and I said, which one? Bitcoin, the OG, the big daddy? Should I get into Ethereum, the one that all these NFTs and digital collectibles and smart contracts are built on, or something new like Cardano or Solana? I did my research and imagine my surprise to find out that today, almost all cryptocurrencies are now controlled by the same banks, the same hedge funds, financial institutions, and foreign nations that Bitcoin originally set out to disrupt. The industry's going now full circle. I looked at it and I said, this doesn't make any sense. I don't think anybody knows this. And I decided to start Texit Coin to give us a blank slate, to take everything that we know and love about cryptocurrency and give us a second chance. We have everything that we need right here in America, right here specifically in Texas, to give ourselves a redo, another chance at crypto. I missed it. You might have missed it as well. And so I took all of my knowledge, all of my passion for honest money, community currencies, bartering, and I swapped out my horse and buggy and I built us a cryptocurrency rocket ship. And Texit Coin, like I said, started in 2024, January 2026 or 2024, mined the first block, and it's been a whirlwind of an adventure ever since then. We've had fun, we've made new friends, we've built a community, and we've shared our message of peace and prosperity with people all over the world. And the adventure is now just beginning. It's the very early stages of our project where we've built an incredible set of tools from the ground up for our original layer one currency. So, what's different between Texit Coin and everything else that's out there? We've exclusively built our proof of work mine here in Texas using the same technology, the same hardware as all the other guys use same stuff, just made here in Texas where we control it, where we don't have to worry about foreign nations taking it, changing it, or not upgrading it so that it can't be a currency for people to use in the marketplace. That's what makes Texit Coin different. We're building a mine right here in Texas, and we're inviting our friends and family and everybody else who wants to help us have a positive impact on the world join us through mining or through trading or through spending. A couple different ways to get involved in Texit Coin. It's really easy. If you like what we're talking about, if you believe that the future is digital and that cryptocurrency is likely to be the future of money, and that Texit Coin might just be the best out there in the landscape of cryptocurrencies, pick up a handful of TXC on the open market. You might be glad that you did. Think about it like going back in time and picking up a handful of Bitcoin back when it was 2, 3, $4. You'd be pretty happy with that decision today. You can find us right now on major exchanges like Bitmart, Mexi, and Dexdash Trade. You can find us on DeFi exchanges through our Wrapped TXC. WTXC is available on Uniswap. Or you can join us and help crowdsource what we expect to become the largest privately owned mine in the world right here in Texas. Costs about $1,000 to get in. It's a one-time fee. And it pays out Texit Coin daily to your wallet. No middlemen, no manager, just Texit Coin every day at about 6 o'clock Texas time. And what happens is when you put your money in, we grow the mine. We use some of that money to market and promote our coin. Maybe you've seen billboards up across the country. Maybe you've seen wrapped cars out on the streets. Maybe you've seen airport advertisements. Maybe you've heard us on the radio. Our goal is to share our story and invite everyone around the world to join us on the Texit Coin rocket ship. And we also pay out commissions to the affiliates that are helping us grow and share this story with people all over the world. You can get involved either way. Both of those opportunities help us move our mission forward. But we're here for one reason, and it's for honest money. It's been an important thing in my life since 2007 when I first discovered what I believe is wrong in the world: fake money. And today, the message, the story is exactly the same as it was in 2008 when I started the American Open Currency Standard. The only difference today is I swapped out the gold and silver horse and buggy with a digital currency Texit Coin rocket ship. And there's enough room on the rocket for everybody. If you like what we're talking about. If you want to get more involved, talk to the person that asked you to join us on tonight's call, or go to texitcoin.org and figure out there how you can either pick up a handful of TXC on the open market, or if you'd like to join us as a miner, you can go to minetxc.com. Very important. Remember to never put in more money than you're comfortable placing at risk. Crypto, like we said, is incredibly volatile. The price is up and down. It could be down 90% or it could go up 10,000x any day of the week, maybe both on the same day. If you've got a strong stomach to take a journey with us and help establish an honest monetary system for people all over Texas, the United States, and the world, then join us at texitcoin.org and learn more. I'm Bobby Gray. I'm the founder of Texit Coin. I'm wishing you and your families a very wonderful new year. 2025 was great for us, and I'm fully expecting 2026 to be exponentially better. Thanks so much for joining, and have a wonderful night.